Welcome to the Look Who It Is podcast, where we sit down with artists to talk music, life, and all the stories in between. Now here's your host, Dane Engel.
Hi, everyone. Today we have Coty Whitt from Small Steps. So, you've been enjoying this summer so far?
Not too bad. Been pretty busy. We had a couple months off, and now we're back into the every weekend we're somewhere.
Yeah. Are you on like some kind of tour or something?
No, it's just we kind of we always take like the fall to really plan out our next year and try to get everyone's dates in order. And we've gotten really lucky over the last year or so of not having to book a whole lot of shows, getting asked a lot more.
Yeah, nice. And
So
then,
it's made life a lot easier.
so who usually books shows?
Jeremiah is our vocalist and guitarist, and he's kind of the dad of the group. Um, so as far as either setting up shows if we need one, he's the one that really deals with a lot of our social media and um, things of that. Uh, like I say, he's kind of like the dad of the group.
So who founded the group then?
Me and Jeremiah did actually. We both worked together. We worked at the same place, but not in the same area. But we had mutual friends, and he actually has a acoustic project right now called Funeral at Sea, and he was wanting to do more of a full band kind of thing. And then that's whenever he reached out to me about playing drums. It was actually kind of funny because I was actually going to be a fill-in drummer because I was actually going to play lead guitar, and then it was one of those things like we started writing and recording, and I was filling in on drums. And then we found John joined the band on guitar, and then another gentleman named John joined the band on bass, and so I got booted to drums and just stayed on drums.
Yeah. So you got two Johns and a Jeremiah.
The first, the bass player John, he was in another project as well, and actually left the band about a year ago. And we've met Justin through playing. He was actually a drummer in Vibrolas, and they toured around quite a bit. We played with him a few times, and it was one of those things for him. He kind of liked our project and what we were working on, and the travel aspect and things like that. So felt more
Yeah.
comfortable playing bass and drums and a lot less stuff to carry.
You feel kind of like the odd man out, not being a J name.
Oh, I kind of thought that, but then my name's Cody, but like everyone calls me Cotty, so it's with a T instead of a D. So I
Hmm.
already feel like odd man out most of my life. So
Yeah, I see
I
you
enjoy
mess.
it.
I was like, yeah, that's Cody. I was like, but I mean, you never can be sure. It could be
Oh
Cotty.
yeah,
You don't know.
right. Yeah, everyone calls me Cody. Cotty's like my nickname. And when my mom's mad, so it's
Nice. So you obviously play guitar too, and drums. But like, what'd you play first?
I started on guitar. I started playing guitar years ago. I always wanted to play drums and never picked them up until about 6 or 7 years ago. I've always been one of those people in our Lexington scene that is kind of resourceful. I'm really big on local music and the local scene. So whatever I can do to be beneficial to somebody, uh, playing drums, bass, guitar, anything but singing, man, I'm terrible whenever it comes to vocals. I
Yeah.
learned that early on.
Like I know you've recorded some songs and stuff like that. You ever do like any session playing for anybody else and stuff?
Yeah, there'll be a couple times where I'll send like DIs for somebody or something like that, but it's never I never really keep up with the projects. I'm more of just a hey, I got you. Like I'll fill something in real quick. It's fun. I haven't done too much of that lately as this project has taken off as well as it has. It's filled up a lot of my time. But it's been really fun to see a lot of bands coming out of retirement in our area and stuff as far as what Small Steps has been able to do and kind of relive or revive the punk scene in Lexington, things like that.
Yeah,
So,
you don't see a lot of punk rock bands anymore.
right. I think we've always had that. We've always had that kind of vibe in Central Kentucky, especially with how I don't want to say anti-establishment Kentucky is, but how punk rock mindset it is here. I think it gets overlooked a lot. Everybody just wants to have a good time.
Yeah, cool. Uh, so you guys are you're filled up. You're doing a lot of stuff here through the fall and like the winter and stuff.
hmm we're doing our first Indiana run, Northern Indiana. We try to book stuff. One of our really good friends is Sparkle Life out of California. They're they've been around since '99. They're all great guys. But we always try to at least once a year try to do a flip where either they come out to the East Coast and tour with us for a little while, or we'll go to the West Coast and go to California and things. So it's we got a Indiana tour scheduled in October with them. Uh, and then of course we're playing like Evansville again coming up. We got I think one show in Lexington coming up, but it's not till end of September, I think.
How many shows you playing in Indiana?
We're playing three shows. We should be in the we're trying to book right now for the Fort Wayne area, which it's super funny because so every year I change my bass drum head um to a different decal for the year, and that's how we can kind of go back and look at pictures and know exactly when they were taken. But this year we decided to put my Sweetwater rep, Dylan,
Oh yeah,
on my bass drum head. And so where they're located out of Fort Wayne, Indiana, we're trying to actually meet him. He's the Sweetwater rep for the whole band now. So we actually had two drum heads made and like signed one and sent it to him, which it's on my kit or it's on my touring kit right now, so I don't have a picture of it,
oh, dang it.
unfortunately. But
You have to send me one or something. I'll see if I can
oh,
cut it in.
definitely, he's a great guy. He's always super sweet, but it's so funny because I've tried to like befriend him so much. Like I'll send him beams at like 2 a.m. or something. But he's a really good guy.
Yeah, I know a lot of people who go up there, and yeah, they say it's huge. It's like a whole shopping mall or like its own
Oh yeah,
city.
right. And I'm one of those like gear losers, obviously. Like,
Right on. What all you got back there?
so right now I actually have a what's funny is there's a Fender Telecaster Nashville Deluxe Telecaster in the garage because I'm trying to relic that right now, which is terrible. If anyone has ever tried to do it by themselves, I realized early on I'm not that guy. We have a Gibson Firebird, Gibson Les Paul Studio, Epiphone Les Paul Studio Custom, or Les Paul Custom, not Studio. And if anyone has ever been in pop punk, like I feel like that's such an iconic guitar. Uh, Les Paul Jr. Epiphone, and then Epiphone ES335 with Bigsby Cream there. Little practice kit. It's like a PDP abomination. Like I have a PDP rack tom and then snare and then DW floor tom and kick. And then of course these have like the low volume cymbals.
Oh,
So
huh.
I think that's been one of my biggest problems, like transition wise, is where I play these so much throughout the week and then I play live. That's why I always play so hard
You beat
to
the
wear
shit
out
out of
my
them,
hands. Oh my God, yeah. It's terrible because like every rehearsal or anything, I was like my middle note is just like play them easy, just play them, be all right. And then I get excited, or I'll see like that one person losing their shit, and then it's like, all right, my hands are gonna hurt after this. Like I can buy new heads, and we'll figure it out.
Nice. So, how'd you get started playing? Like family members play or anything? Like what got you into music and stuff?
Oh, that was definitely growing up here in Kentucky. It seemed like everyone's older brother always. There was so many people into music. My family was not a musically inclined family. But I had all my friends' brothers growing up. They had family members that played either acoustic guitar or piano, or a couple of them were drummers in churches and things like that. And I remember just always trying to sneak down to their basement and play the drum kit or guitar or whatever. It was music. It was kind of one of those things. Friends' brothers had instruments, and then I kind of got into the older I got, the more I got into lyrics and story writing, or singer-songwriter stuff and storytelling.
So the songs you guys have now, like do you co-write or write the songs?
Yeah, not most of it will be Jeremiah will have an idea. Um, I try to do the like big picture thing. I'll come up with a concept for a song and kind of send it out to the group and see who has like leads or bites, or if they think that that take is interesting or not, whether or not we need to pursue it. Um, and then I might come up with a verse or a hook or something and be like, hey, here's kind of where I want to go with it. Like, what's your all's input? And most of the time it's Jeremiah will come up with a lot. Justin, the bass player, he's really good at adding in those his parts, the extra woes or what lines he's going to be harmonizing through the chorus and things like that. So I always try to just almost like a tattoo like recipient, like how you go to a tattoo artist and you're like, hey, here's kind of what I want to do, but like I want your interpretation of said idea. Like I
Mm-hmm.
love everything that you come up with. So that's kind of how I approach songwriting with the rest of the band is, hey, here's this idea. What can you all turn it into? Kind of thing.
You have some of your own songs though?
Yeah, yeah. We there's a few songs like Three Button Sweater. I think I had all the drum parts for that song almost done. Then it was John had this riff and threw it over top of it. It's so funny because John writes kind of the same way. He'll come up with 8 or 9 different riffs, and we'll just like cherry pick pieces of them or the key or the melody or something and really start manipulating. But I've gotten really lucky with this project as far as it's almost like once that spark goes, people talk about writing a song in 20 minutes. It's kind of the same thing with this band. We don't feel like we have a lot of duds right out the gate. Like if we start to pursue a riff or a beat or whatever early on, we know whether or not that's going to turn into a good song or something that we're just going to, you know, throw back on the shelf and either return to at a later date or not. I don't think we've ever played a song live that we haven't been very into. We've always been really critical and selective. We'd rather have, you know, you come to a set. I'd rather you have 12 solid songs and make you want more versus here's anything and everything that I've thought of over the last 3 months, and here's 50 songs, but you only like 10 or 12 of them.
Right. Yeah. That's kind of, so you guys just dropped like a 5-song EP?
Yes, we recorded that EP up in Chicago at Gravity Studios, which was a thrill for me. There were so many albums growing up that I had listened to that were recorded there. Rise Against and Motion City soundtrack and Fall Out Boy, you know, stuff 12, 13-year-old me was losing his shit over. And then to be in the same room that those tracks were tracked. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It's a really good time.
Hard to stay focused.
A little bit. It was really unnerving in the beginning too, because where I played drums, we recorded drums first, and every bit of preparedness I thought I had, I practiced so much leading up to that, and thought I had everything, like could do it in my sleep, and then you try to anticipate what the building's going to look like or anything. Like as soon as I walked in there, I turned into a complete fangirl. I'm like touching stickers on the walls and stuff. Like, oh, that's so like they had Rise Against like gold records there and stuff, and I'm just like I remember buying said record from Hot Topic because it was a variant, like little things like that. So once they got, Danny was our producer for it, and whether he's like, you ready to track or anything, like here it comes. I I'd blank so hard as soon as I heard the click. It was a
Yeah.
good time though.
So
Yeah,
did he produce any like song? Did he like tell you like, oh man, I produced this song and you're like one of your favorite songs?
he had worked on the Rise Against album, like Savior and stuff like that. So it was really funny for me because I remember him talking about that. He was very low on the totem pole whenever they had recorded that album. So he got to do a lot of the grunt work and mic placements and stuff like that. So uh, I thought that was super interesting. Like, and I had asked him at any time, had you working on this project and then thought it would hit the level of success that it did? He's like, no, you get excited and they're your friends, but you don't know how anyone's going to take anything. You can feel so confident in it and it flop or vice versa. So many burner songs come out and fly off on the charts and TikTok loves them and.
Yeah, right. They'll come back in 20 years on whatever TikTok app there is then.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So you you like other music other than like punk and some
Yeah.
emo stuff, and like what else you listen to?
Absolutely. I mean, being from Kentucky, everyone's blowing up about the new Tyler Childers album.
Hmm.
So uh, I think that's one thing that's kind of weird about us too. Even friends that aren't in the music scene here in Kentucky, it doesn't matter if you're a music person or not, but like if there's somebody from Kentucky, you're still going to listen to everything, even if you don't like country music or not, which I do personally, but like Tyler's coming out and Old 60, got to listen to those guys. But I mean, we've played with so many hardcore kids over the years and meeting those guys. I mean, anything and everything. I think it's very I guess it's kind of counterintuitive if you don't listen to a lot of music, if you kind of pigeonhole yourself with just one type of genre, because I mean everything, it's like a like butterfly effect for everything for me. I can come up with a beat for a pop punk song, but it was a big band Buddy Rich lick that I had heard or something. That's always what gets me really excited is whenever you do listen to more music than just your genre and you try to bridge that gap into stuff that people might not listen to. You have that hardcore beat. Seen it so many times with genre meshing, like post-hardcore and stuff like that. You take in little aspects of different music, bringing it into, your kind of home genre.
You like going and playing with other bands too, and then hearing how they play and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's almost like it's like a fun get together kind of thing because it's almost like seeing the trailer for a movie. You see the trailer and you're listening to them on whatever app you're listening to them. You're like, all right, like these guys sound pretty good. But then whenever you get to live, you get to play with them live. That's whenever you're seeing the movie. This is all the hype that they did through music videos and posts and social media and stuff. Like this is their bread and butter. This should be the best moment. Um, so I like seeing that aspect, how people sometimes, very few times I'm ever disappointed seeing somebody live, but it is nice to see people in their elements, and especially bands that you've known for years, like Sparkle Live. So we've gotten to play with those guys from almost like The Office, like that's the stage where it's 3 inches off the floor and
Hmm.
like in a little closet. But then we've also gotten to play, a large stage where we get to jump off of it and everything's cool and light. So like seeing how bands react uh in those different environments, especially whenever we don't know what we're getting into a lot of the times at bars or venues or what have you. So it's cool to see how they can manipulate a stage, something that has, no real stage, and we're on the floor playing, to a big production.
Is there a big difference you've noticed playing east to west, like when you go out there and play or play here?
So East Coast is, I'm biased because I'm from Kentucky, but it's one of those things, man. I feel like you got to know somebody for like a lot of people to like you, kind of thing. Like you got to have like an in, because there's so many times where we've played, uh, a really small town, and it's been like the greatest fan base ever. Everyone's uh, losing their shit the whole time, and it's super cool. But then, we've played bigger places like Program in California, and the first three songs, nobody's moving. So we're like, oh shit. Like, but I mean, it varies. I think I was really apprehensive about the West Coast because, like, growing up, you have so many bands from the East Coast, but it's one of those things like East and West. You always hear about like rivalries and stuff like that. So I didn't know how people were going to receive us playing out there. But everyone was super cool, and it was kind of that same vibe that we get whenever you have that band from far away. Like you don't know when you're going to be able to see them again, things like that. So getting to spend that time with them and hang out with them, it was pretty cool on both sides of it. Either seeing bands from California or West Coast come to our place in Kentucky, or vice versa, us going out there and get to hang out with all those guys. It was really nice.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, I have to look those guys up. I haven't heard them before.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Cool guys. They took a little bit of a hiatus because life happens, but they're back in it. Like I said, we're going up with them in the fall, so we're laid back. It's really funny because two of us work in a factory, another one's a professor, and then another uh, fourth person. He's got his job. Like we all have regular jobs, like 9 to 5 stuff. So we're that we're just doing it for fun, and we've gotten really fortunate with everything. I don't think anyone really expected it to turn into what it has when we first started, actually in this office, uh, practicing and playing and writing songs. Um, but it's been a good time. Like I said, we're laid back, normal guys. So every time after a set or whatever, and we're all done setting up, we're just hanging out, drinking beer, and
So is that
watching the other bands.
is
Like
that like your jam room, brainstorm room?
this is my me and my wife's office, so it's like my music room and her office. So we obviously try to split up the time. It's almost like a custody battle. Like whenever she's got to work, I'll be like, but let me get like half an hour in there. Like,
You have a little sketch. You have a dry erase board or something that yeah.
yeah, I used to have. I'm actually out of it now. I think it's at the rehearsal space now, but I used to have one of those like flip top, like giant poster board things. And it was so funny because it gets really hot in this room. So every time the fan was on, it would just fly up and it just smack and say like you're trying to do a recording or whatever, and it'd be terrible. That or just random uh set lists that we're trying to trial or cover ideas and things like that. Battle me and my wife have is like every time I find a guitar deal or something somewhere, I'll be like, babe, check this out. She's like, you play drums. You play drums in small steps. You don't have other projects. I was like, I know, I don't need it, but damn.
Well,
Like,
it's hard to collect drum sets.
oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I need to do. I need to start selling it that way, like space wise. That's it.
Yeah.
This last time we went to California, it was funny because I bought a snare. It was like a SJC snare while I was out there, and we sold as much merch as we could, obviously, and used one of the boxes to put the snare in, and Sparkle Life sent it to us. But it was so funny because like I was like, oh, I bought a snare while I was out there on the Hollywood Boulevard. Like I thought it was super cool. Like I'm a memento guy, so like I always like to buy a trinket or something. And I came home, told my wife about the snare, and she was like, "Why didn't you buy like a T-shirt or something? Like, why do you have to buy a whole ass snare for going out there?" I was like, "Ah, but it's cool. Like every time I play it now, I get to be like, that was that California run. Like that was cool."
Right. I mean, there probably wasn't any shirts around or anything. There's just a bunch of snares, and that was the only thing you had to choose from.
That's exactly what it was, man. I happened to have my Guitar Center credit card, and we were in Guitar Center, but yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, man, they took all the music stores. Like, I have to drive about an hour to get to anything.
Really?
Guitar Center or, well, Sweetwater's about 3 hours from me.
Yeah.
So, but gosh, that's probably like 5 or 6 hour drive for you, maybe more.
I think so. I think when we went to Chicago, it was like 5.5, 6, like somewhere
Yeah,
around then. I
I'm
think
about,
I think Indianapolis is like 4 hours for us, 3.5, 4, something like that. We're just north of Lexington.
gotcha. I'm like 2.5 hours north of Evansville.
Okay, cool. So
Like right on.
Jeremiah, he's actually from Evansville. Uh, we played we've played through there a few times. We have a band called the Chugs that we're really good friends with. They're really good people. They really like Ham's beer.
Oh yeah, yeah, Hames.
Yeah, so they're always a hoot.
I have a Hams shirt. I should have wore it if I'd
Oh
known.
yeah, dude. If you talk to the Chugs, man, they will love you forever for that. So,
I'll have to remember if I ever see him playing somewhere. I have to wear my Hams shirt.
oh, definitely, man. They're fun. They're good guys. They're a three piece. I think they're from Evansville or really close there. Every time we go around that area, they always play with us and super cool guys. Uh, they just had a new album out, and I feel terrible because I can't remember the name of it, but it's doing like really well. Like got on a couple punk charts. They just played Punksgiving here not that long ago. Really cool dudes.
Tell me about Punksgiving.
Dude, it's like a thing in the woods. It's one of those like camping festivals.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty sick. I think it was only 2 days this year, but good time. I mean, just hanging out in the woods, drinking beer and playing punk music, you know?
All right. So is it like a festival, or just like local bands, or
There's a lot of local bands with like the 4 or 5 headliners, but it's not crazy like Warped Tour big, but it's still a good time. It's one of those festivals I like to go to because it's kind of the precursor for me of all right, the next year, like if you play that, then the next year, that's when you're going to start seeing those bands come around a lot more. I think people like to trial there and see
that's in
what their
Kentucky?
demographic. Yeah, what that is Pennsylvania,
Oh, okay.
I believe. I'm the terrible guy that just sits in the back and like will show up with my breakables and then ride in the van until we get to wherever.
You're playing now. Do you write like in the off season and stuff like that?
Yeah, we always try to keep writing as much as we can. We have this is the only project that I've been a part of where we write songs like this, and it's where we'll at rehearsal we go through like whatever the next set is, whatever we've like established as our set list for the next 2 or 3 shows. we'll go through that once, and then we'll always try to do, you know, hey, I had this over the week, or I've been sitting on this, and then we kind of do like a quick trial, like, okay, is that a riff or something that we want to pursue? Does it get everyone's creative juices flowing, or is it something we can see with it? Or if not, then we just kind of put it on the back burner, maybe try it in a couple weeks. But everyone kind of writes on their own, and then we use our rehearsal uh, time to kind of patch it around and throw it out, see what everyone thinks about it. And it's one of those things, like, I really like it because it doesn't force us to say, like, one of the worst things I've ever done writing is to set aside a specific amount of time and try to force myself to write. I don't think anyone else in this project is. Uh, I think everyone's on the same page with that. If we try to force ourselves to come up with stuff, that's whenever everything kind of gets choppy and loose and stuff like that. But uh, just kind of as it comes to you, I feel like we have a lot better success with uh, songs like that, trying to write in that regard.
Do you record your rehearsals?
We do. Yeah, we have everything running through like we would for a show. Um, so it's a lot of that through the week too. Everyone has their own. Uh, Everyone gets copies of what we worked on, and we always call out. We spend a lot of time early on in the songs where um, lyrics are normally the last thing that gets wrote. Uh, but it's a good time with spending the week of, okay, here's, I'll normally do a pretty basic drum part, and then throughout the week I'll try to pizzazz it up or whatever the song's kind of calling for. I try to be really mindful of everyone else's parts and things like that, and kind of staying in my own lane. Like, but
Right, yeah. It'd be hard to not, write something or come up with something and not want it to be the highlight.
oh, yeah, but it's also one of those things where we get so many ideas, and I've I've always felt really comfortable in this project as far as everyone with their ideas. We've everyone's been in those bands where you're scared to say something, or like, that's not the right vibe of this project or album or whatever. But this band's been very receptive and awesome guys, and I'm very fortunate for that.
Yeah, well, that's probably why you've been together for so long, and
Yeah.
uh, yeah, can keep doing it, especially with with full-time jobs on top of that. If it wasn't fun, then it'd probably be pretty easy to give it up.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, we've gotten anytime it feels like work, I feel like that's whenever we're like, okay, maybe let's slow it down for a little bit. Like, maybe we're going too hard too quick. Try to take a couple weeks off, recalibrate everything.
Nobody's
But
ever talked about being like, man, we should do this full time.
I think so. I would love to, but I mean, at the same time, it's so scary too, man. I mean, I think COVID really scared a lot of us. Just realizing how quickly everything could get shut down. Not saying I would love to pursue this full time, but at the same time, you have that in the back of your mind. Like, what would I do if the only thing I had was streaming services?
Right.
Physical media is a very important part.
It's like you can't find CDs in stores hardly anymore. You can find vinyl, which is crazy. They have a huge vinyl selection, but it's impossible to find a CD.
Right. And that's the thing that's crazy is, like, I've noticed, you're always like looking out for like what's happening now and stuff. And I've seen a huge flip with CDs being more and more common in cassettes. Like, so many people talk about loving that as a medium or as a merch item just because size, they might not even listen to the CD or play the cassette, but they still like having a trinket from the show which we've always done like free stickers, and that's one big benefit for us as far as merch items go, is we've always looked at merch items as like advertisement kind of thing. Like we we got shit on by a lot of bands because like we just now bumped our t-shirt prices to $15. Like they were $10 for years, and then we switched to comfort colors, so we had to put them at 15. But like other bands would shit on us and be like, "Why are you selling your stuff so cheap?" And all of a sudden, it's like we don't really care about making money off of it. We just want like that kid that has $20 that got to go to a show. Like, we don't want to burn all their money. Like, just give us what we got in the t-shirt, and spend the other money on another band or whatever, or
Right.
get a drink or something,
Yeah.
like
That might be all I have left after a $25 beer.
not right. I mean, is what it is, but we don't we never looked at playing places to sell stuff. It's more of just like we want to just have a good time and play, and people hear our music and hopefully like it, you know? If you don't like it, then I don't want you to hang out and have a bad time. Like go where you have a good time, man. Like
Right. If they have them, I try to buy Huggies or koozies.
yeah. Oh, I'm a big koozie guy. Love the koozies.
I've been on
Yeah.
a concert kick for the last, year and a half, and I've just been going to like anything and everything I can find that's kind of close,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know are you a big metal guy?
Yeah.
Okay, so I went to Peoria
Hell yeah.
and seen Frozen Soul and Kublai Khan TX and Kill Switch.
Dude, how was that?
It was a good show.
Yeah.
Fit for a King too. They were there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So I went and seen Disturbed this year, and so I'm getting ready to go see Chevelle next week. Yes,
That'd be cool. Where are they playing at?
in Indy.
Indy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So I went to the Grand Ole Opry this year.
Oh.
Yeah. So, which is different for me. It's not. My wife's a big country music fan, so.
See, that's one of those places, man. Even if you're not a country guy, it's still like the respect of it, like.
Yeah. Mount Joy played actually.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So that was good.
It's such a beautiful place. I'd like to play there one day, which I don't see pop punk.
I mean, I feel like they've really broadened who they have there.
Yeah, the last few years, I think they've really stepped out of their just one genre country stuff, but Nashville's a whole thing in itself. But like, yeah, I'd love to play there, or at least step on that stage. I think that'd be really cool. Being a country music fan for so long, it's kind of hard not to.
Right. Yeah, I took my son at the beginning of the month, and we went and seen Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh, cool.
And that was a great show. Great show. It was probably my favorite concert all year so far.
That's awesome. Dude, and hats off to him, man, for what are we at? Like 50 years of doing this? Like,
yeah, probably.
I mean,
get close.
Yeah, good on him.
So, and I mean, it was 90 degrees and no wind, and he came out in that fat suit
for
fat, and I'm like, he's gonna pass out. But he went through the whole show. I mean, his hair was sopping wet, and he was in a ponytail by the end. But man, he didn't miss a beat the whole time.
I mean, hats off to him. That's cool though. I can't imagine be doing that long and then still doing songs that are like, this girl broke my heart in high school. Like
right. Yeah, 40 years ago, 45 years ago, this girl broke my heart. Yeah, and he played his songs from the very beginning to even some of his new ones, are like 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's awesome.
It was good. And I mean, he had a set change and costume change almost like every 2 or 3 songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's rad.
So that was quite the production.
Oh yeah.
He came in like Morgan Wallen, like
Oh really?
from the back, and they walked him in, yeah, with the camera, and he walked from backstage all the way through.
That's funny. I think that'd be so cool to do, uh, to be able to stay relevant like that, and to just who are we going to poke fun at next, kind of thing. I think that'd be
Yeah,
pretty neat.
and to see the people that were there, and like there was little kids and all the way up to probably retired people,
Hmm.
grandpas and grandmas there, and they were all dancing and singing along to all the songs.
Oh yeah, that's neat. I mean, yeah, like you said, like being able to span over that many generations. I mean, that'd be wild.
And I think music does kind of go come back around, so like even like you said, like the punk scene, a lot of these bands, because like Music City, they just dropped a new single not too long ago,
Hmm.
and a lot of these, yeah, Chevelle, they probably haven't had anything in a few years, and all these bands are coming back out and going on tour and dropping new albums. And
Oh yeah, it's wild. I mean, Warped Tour coming back, which I still haven't got to go, but I did as a kid. So like that'd be wild. I don't know how I could do that at like 33 years old now.
right.
It's just way hotter. Like probably drink way less Monster Energy drinks and way more water.
I gotta buy seats now. I'm like, I
Oh
can't I
yeah,
can't make it in the lawn.
yeah. I feel that. We were me and my wife went to Sad Summer in Cincinnati, and it was one of those deals where like standing room only. We were in, but like there's a second level of VIP that had seats, and I remember I was like standing down there, being like, oh, I will never like I'm gonna be a hardcore punk kid, like always standing, sweating my balls off, like dying. And then like three bands in, I was like, oh, dude, those seats would be really nice right now. Like going outside, like, okay, all right, fuck, this is a banger, and then you got to run back in. Like,
You ever been to Bogarts?
yes, love
Yeah,
Bogarts. That's that was definitely my place. Like growing up, that was my grandparents. They lived in Cincinnati, and so I went to a lot of shows of Bogarts throughout the years.
it's a pretty good venue.
I love it because there's not a bad place to stand. Like
Right.
no matter where you're at in the venue, it's sick.
Yeah, it's kind of uh like not real wide, but it's really long.
Yeah, it's like shotgun style building.
Hmm.
Like so, I mean, anywhere from standing in the very back, like where the bar is, to up front. And then I always think it's cool too. Like if you go to the bathrooms, like where they're underneath the stage, it's so wild to like go underneath that tunnel and like you'll just feel the whole building shaking. It's pretty rad.
They have a place in Broad Ripple, the Vogue,
So I've heard of that place, but I have not been.
and
Is it pretty
it's
cool?
it's pretty cool. It's kind of like Bogarts. They have a balcony that you can go up, but it's all standing only and stuff.
Oh yeah.
But it's a good venue to go to.
That's kind of like one of our big things that we always joke about with this project is like the only thing we want to do is either food or see venues. So like as we get to tour, it's constantly like what are we eating? Like what's the local delicacy around here? Like what can we get our hands on that we can't back home kind of thing. So it's pretty cool to like check out new venues and
How do
food
you
and stuff.
how do you book your like hotels and stuff like that? You do hotels or Airbnbs or something, or
It kind of varies. I prefer Airbnbs, but it's kind of hard to beat a hotel that's like 2 blocks from the venue. If we can get close to it, I'm all for that because I'm definitely going to try to find like a hot dog stand or a pizza joint like on the way home. I could eat right before a show and then be hungry immediately after. Like,
yeah. Well, you're burning a lot of calories during that show, man.
oh, dude, it gets hot. Like I said, especially where I get excited and beat the hell out of them. Like I act like I can afford symbols left and right. I don't know why I get so excited for it,
Are you
but
mic'd up? Do you do any background vocals too?
I do not,
No.
but I just like to be that guy that just yells like profanity or counting randomly. Just if there's like a rest in the song, I just like to be like, "Oh shit," or if it's a
Right.
part that I'm not feeling very confident in the time of, I like to do that, and everyone gets a laugh too. Like I just call it out, like, "No shit, here we go," and then mess up a drum fill or something like.
You ever see the guy that has like the soundboard and he'll like throw some weird shit like in a little pause or something?
Oh yeah, dude. I love his stuff. I've wanted to do stuff like that, but at the same time it's like, oh man, if I was doing something more like residency, I think that'd be a really fun job to do. Being able to play every night like on Broadway or something, you get to throw in those little like sound clips and stuff.
Yeah, the last guy I just interviewed, he plays Broadway.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got to get the rest of that stuff up and get the full thing out, but man, it sounds insane. Like the stuff he was telling me, it is a full-time job,
Oh
and
yeah.
and it still sounds like a lot of work. So
There's the couple people I know that do it, like I think that's been one of the biggest hangups is, the amount of hats you have to wear to be successful down there. It's definitely not for the faint of heart.
and he said he wouldn't trade it for the world though.
Right.
Yeah, so he's full-time though. He's a full-time musician, stuff like that, and that's everything he does. So
Living the dream, man.
yeah, yeah. Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes
Yeah.
so I've talked to people too that are like, no way I would do this full time.
Yeah.
They're like, I do it because I love to play and I love to hang out with my band members and go play music.
I
And they're not
definitely feel
really in
that a
it for the
lot.
money. Money's just a
Right.
bonus for them.
Yeah. I mean, the money for us, it gets that Airbnb paid for or
Right.
whatever. Like we're not making money off of it, and if we do make money, it goes right back into whatever we're pursuing, whether that's a music video or recording or something. I will say that about this project that I've really liked is none of us went into it with the intention of, hey, this is going to be our moneymaker and we're going to quit our regular jobs and stuff like that. It was all like, hey, let's see what fun we can have with this. And I, I think I can speak for all of us when I say like it took off a lot quicker than what I thought would happen. We were within a year we were nominated for the Lexington Music Awards Punk Band of the Year and Album of the Year, which I had no idea on Album of the Year. I thought our album was great and I loved it, but I didn't think Kentucky as a whole, whenever you have four artists that are nominated for the whole state, and then our album that we wrote 3 songs in this little office in, like
Right. That's where the best stuff comes from.
it's wild. And I mean, like all these songs, like all this stuff, it's like your kids. I mean, I don't have kids, so I can't officially speak for everyone, but like it's the closest thing I have to a child. So like I'll be like, oh yeah, like it's great. Like here's all these little intricacies and parts that here's why, what my thought process on it and stuff. But then at the same time, you can play it for 100 people and maybe, you know, half the people will like what you put into it, or half doesn't. Is what it is. But like if you have that one person that likes it and connects with it, that's where you're like, okay, I feel fulfilled. I got my dopamine rush, and now
Yeah.
it feels good. Like,
And then you have, I mean, all this streaming media and stuff now. So I mean, it's so much bigger. Like where, if you just played local and didn't have anything on there, yeah, you might touch one or two. But if you touched 1%, but of the world, I mean, that's millions of people.
oh yeah, it's wild. It's really different too because in having that kind of medium, like there was one time, it wasn't too long ago, but we were like starting to really take into consideration our demographics, and we were really popular in Australia for some reason. And it's so funny because I like bands from Australia, like the Chats or the this kind of punk band that I'm absolutely loving right now. So it was so odd to like think of them and kind of be like, okay, that's what's, topping charts in Australia right now. I don't think our music is similar to that at all, but like in seeing that demographic of, I think it was like 7 of our top 9 cities were in Australia. I was like, I don't know who found it down there, but I'm glad they did. Like,
Well, that's where your live album can come from.
oh, dude, it'd be sick. We've talked about going to Italy, but uh, Australia that'd be wild for me. They're I really like to hike and camp and stuff, so a whole nother continent like that'd be really interesting to try.
So like when you go to the West Coast and stuff like that, you just take vacation from work and go out there.
Hmm. Yeah, we try to plan it out, and that's probably the hardest thing about being in a band with a full-time job, with everyone having full-time jobs. It's just schedule, but I think everyone's very same page kind of thing. This band is as much of a responsibility for everyone, so we've gotten really fortunate in that regard as far as being able to take time off and set
And
up
some of the
these
other
like
guys probably
mini
have
runs.
kids and stuff too.
Yeah. So we try to, depending on what the show is, we've gotten really lucky with it. A few like all ages venues or festivals and stuff like that where they can bring their kids, but everyone's kind of older now. So like even the kids, they're almost to where they're at the venue age.
All right, man. Well, dude, I appreciate this. It's been great.
No, I appreciate your time, man. Thanks.
All right, man. You have a good one. All right, later.